Hello and welcome back to Beauty Within. Today we are talking all about gel moisturizers.
Woo!
Because you know what? It's getting hot. It's getting a little nasty. And for all you oily girls, guys, everything in between, maybe even small children. No, I'm just kidding. Gel moisturizers are really the place to go when it does get hot and humid and you're trying to rebalance your skin that's already so oily and greasy and you want something lightweight and refreshing.
So you may be thinking, what am I doing here? Well, great question. As a dry skin gal, I can't really relate, but today I will be taking notes as Fel talks through the gel moisturizer. So throughout the video, there may be Rowena's notes.
And we also see you guys like taking notes from our videos too, so feel free to join along.
Yeah.
Maybe we can make a hashtag. So today I just thought we would talk about the top 7 gel moisturizers that have come on the market that I'm currently obsessed with and loving, and I think you guys will really enjoy them too because they're all a little bit different. And when we talk about different gel moisturizers, like what does that even mean? We shall be explaining them all. So here you shall see a little platter of dreams, of gel drop dreams. And they're all a little bit different because that's what you'll find in jars, in little squirty tubes, in little canisters. So we're gonna be talking all about it.
And if you guys are new to this channel and our faces, this is Beauty Within, where we talk all things skincare, self-care, and healthy living to find our beauty within.
Notification bell, subscribe, do it.
So Fel, first question, why gel moisturizers?
Why these? Well, I think with skincare, it's like we talk texture is king, right? So you want to find something that's complementary to what you already have. It's like a relationship. It is the skincare relationship. You want like a boyfriend who complements your personality. You want to find a texture that complements your skin. And for oily, you just don't like the feeling of something heavy, pore clogging, comedogenic, which means the formulations, you're looking for something with less butters, less oils, and it does have oils and emollients and occlusives, but they formulate it in a way that's so lightweight, so refreshing, that it actually helps to balance the oils that are coming out of your skin and oozing out. Okay.
So, how do you pick the one? Of all the gel moisturizers out there,
Yeah.
of all the products out there, of all the textures out there, because I think you gave really great categories, 3 main ones, but in between the spectrum, I think there's still things there. So within all of that,
So
how do you know?
I think you factor in your current environment, so that's one thing. Because if it's dry to me, then I'll go for something that's a little heavier in terms of like gel creams. Whereas if it's really humid, I'll go for something that's like a water drop gel. And then another way that you can go about it is, because you know how moisturizers are the last step of your routine? Yes. If you look back at what you used previously. So yeah, you want it to like go together.
Anything else?
And then just mood. Yeah, like, oh, timing. Yeah, because timings are, yeah. Morning, generally, people don't have as much time, or maybe they do, but then I'll skip to a heavier weight if I just want to do all in one.
Well, when you said mood and timing, bringing it back to skincare being complementary like a boyfriend.
Yes.
Mood and timing also sounds like relationships.
It really is, right? Like our whole channel is really just talking about our relationship with skin and body, and therefore the mind.
Let's talk about products.
Okay, so which one do you want to know about first? We can start there.
Which one are you most excited about?
Okay, so let's start with these. These are the categories of, to me, like new age formulations. Okay, so this is the Paula's Choice Invisible Finish Moisture Gel, and then we have the Dr. Jart Water Drop Hydrating Moisturizer. So let's start with this one because I feel like we don't really hear about this one. Yeah, and we actually got sent this a while ago.
A long time ago. I actually used it because it's meant for dry skin. Yeah. But after I used it once, I was like, it's not for my dry skin. It wasn't it. And then you tried it recently, you're like, bruh, where have you been all my life?
Yes, and I was confused because I'm like, why is this designed for a dry skin person? Anyway, so like upon first squeezing it out, it's this milky texture that looks like a primer, and then when you spread it, it's also not like a watery gel. It's kind of like silicone-y,
Yeah.
right? And then you start to see actual water droplets form on top of this almost like filmy layer of moisturizer.
Dude, it's nuts.
It's so weird. It's kind of like a whale came out of the water, and then if you took a picture of it, got
like
the yeah, or like on your windscreen.
It's on my
wiper.
finger too.
Right? It's like water bursts. This reminds me the most of the Tatcha water cream.
I feel like this is even more water bursting than the Tatcha.
Yeah, it totally, because the Tatcha, you couldn't see the burst. This, you can physically see the burst.
It looks like it's sweating. That's how wet it
And now
is.
feel it. It becomes nothing. That film becomes nothing.
So as we're talking about these products, I'm gonna ask Fel to rank all the products from 0 to 5 based off of how mattifying the finish is, if it gives you a glow, and how hydrating it is.
So the water drop, what's the first one?
Mattifying.
I would say this is like a 3.2. Let's say 3.2.
All right.
Because it's not glowy, but it's not matte.
Afterglow.
The afterglow. This is so funny because it's like, they're not really glowing. Because you know what makes a glow is like oils and butters, right? But
It looks
what
like
is
skin to me.
Okay, but if we're talking about technicalities, this one, we'll say 1.5.
1.5, okay. How about hydration?
Probably like 3.5. Because it does burst.
Yeah.
And so it feels when you're applying it, that bursting feeling, but it also sinks into the skin. Okay, now moving on to this one from our girl Paula. We've used a lot of Paula's Choice products, but this line specifically I had not touched before this. And I don't know why, because my God, have I been missing out. So this one comes out in a very, it's not similar to this, it's not milky, but it once again feels like a primer. Like when you first squidge it out. And I have it on today, and it was really hot and humid outside, and I can't, you know, you're like sweating. By the time you get from one destination to another, you're like oily, your glands are hyperactive. But this moisturizer I found actually controls the oil and controls almost like random sweats. Like it's a primer almost, but a primer moisturizer.
Ah.
So if you're like really oily, this will be a game changer for the summer. Mark my words, people.
For this Paula's Choice, if you have to rank from 0 to 5, how mattifying would you say it is?
I would say like 4.
4.
Yeah. I don't think it'll ever get to 5 because that's just like cardboard.
It's like if you powdered your face.
Yeah, exactly. 5 would be a full-on powder.
Okay.
This is like you can wear it and not need to powder. That's why it's so awesome.
Oh.
Yeah. It exists, oily girls. I found it. We have found
You're
it.
welcome.
Yeah.
What about hydration?
I think it's like a 3.
3.
Yeah. 2.5 to 3.
Just give it a 2.8.
Okay.
All right.
So now I think we're kind of working a little bit backwards from the most mattifying to the most like watery consistency, right? So this is that middle section.
Yes.
So it's the Purito Deep Sea Water Cream. There's also the IUNIK, like the Centella Gel Cream, and then this one, which is the APRILSKIN Artemisia Squalane Hydra Gel Cream. Okay, so what makes this section a little bit different is that it's a gel cream. So it's not purely this translucent water burst. It's still got the cream element, therefore it's got a little bit more oils, and it has a longer lasting glow effect. So this is that middle column that we're talking about. This is where we will see the most glow.
Talk to us about the Purito Deep Sea Water Cream as an oily skin gal.
It's very nourishing. It's like nourishing without being heavy. I don't know how to describe it, which is probably why it works for you.
All right, let's back to our chart. Purito.
Moving into our glow section,
How glowy would it be?
I would say like 3.5.
Hydration.
It's not watery hydration, it's creamy hydration. So it's a little bit thicker. So I'd say like, yeah, 3.5 as well.
Moving on to IUNIK.
This one was my favorite gel cream for the longest time because of the ingredients. It had the centella, the green tea, the niacinamide, and all of them just work together like perfectly for oily skin. It's not thick. It's definitely not a cream. This, I would say, is smack bang in the middle and characterizes what a gel cream is.
Yeah, smack bang.
Smackety bang bang.
Does it leave your skin matte?
No. Other than these ones, none of them are really mattifying. Maybe like, yeah, 0.
Interesting. Afterglow.
So I'll say 2.
Hydration.
Same as the Dr. Jart.
Oh,
Yeah,
3.5.
3.5, around there.
Not bad. Okay, moving on to APRILSKIN.
APRILSKIN, oh, man, this one is so beautiful. It looks like a cream in the jar, but then it's like so slippery and it just becomes nothing.
Whoa, this is like milk water.
Milk water!
Yeah.
Because when you try to get it out, it kind of just slips down.
But it's not annoying that it just slips out of your hand.
Yeah.
You can actually like get product. I think that's one of my pet peeves with some moisturizers is you're just trying to, and then it's like, no,
it's like-
no. It's like playing hard to get, no.
Yeah. I used this in the transitional seasons and it's so perfect for it because it's got squalane and squalane is an oil, but it doesn't leave you feeling like you have any oil on your skin whatsoever. And then it's got the soothing qualities of the Artemisia, which is mugwort. So people with combination skin where you're a little bit oily, you're a little bit dry, this will completely rebalance you and build the skin back. And even redness, I feel like starts to go away because of the ingredients in here. So it's like so awesome. And APRILSKIN really isn't a brand that we've talked much about on the channel, but I feel like they're so deserving of a lot more like reviews, and this actually got me really excited to try more of their line. So now I'm using their calendula. They have a really gentle PHA kind of serum that I'm using. They also within this line have a toner that also has the rice extract. Actually, it's kind of like the Asian version of Biossance.
Oh.
Yeah, where the formulation is so nice. It's lightweight. You never feel like it's, impeding into your life and things are sticking on your face.
Love it. Okay, so going back to the matte.
So this is definitely not matte. I feel like this is the best like glass skin feeling. So what would you say the afterglow? Then I would be like 3 because it's this really natural glow to the skin.
You would say this is more hydrating than the Purito?
They're very similar to me, but I kind of prefer this. It's a little bit lighter than Purito.
Dun, 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 dun. So we have 2 products left in the lightest category that can be like a serum moisturizer.
Yeah. Funny you say that, bro, because this one's actually called Serum Weight Moisturizer.
Oh.
Okay, let's talk about this one, Make. This is called the Succulent Skin Gel Cream Serum Weight Moisturizer. You pump it out, so it's in a kind of nice, airtight.
This looks very similar to this.
It actually reminds me of the IUNIK. It's like exactly the
Oh.
same. There's prickly pear and cactus, niacinamide, hyaluronic acid. By this point, I've tried this many layers and my hand still looks like this. That's why you can layer gel creams on. This is a dream for oily skin.
So matte finish, if you had to rank.
When it comes down to these, I'm gonna say the matte means it absorbs so quickly that it's just skin.
Would you say it's like my skin but better or just skin?
Yeah, it leaves you looking like a little bit more moisturized.
My skin
than
a little better.
Yeah. MSBB.
MSBB. Okay, what about glow, afterglow?
It's a lightweight kind of like, so maybe
One-ish.
Yeah.
All right. What about the hydration?
3.1.
Great. Moving on to our last contender, the Peach and Lily Gel Moisturizer.
Yes.
Great.
Okay, so I like how they described it at the back. It says light as air, oil-free, silicone-free texture with 3 molecular weights of hyaluronic acid. That is truly what it is. It feels like you have nothing on. It truly feels like it's oil-free as well. Hence why this is probably the lightest of all. And I would say this one is truly, you could use it as a serum. Like the after is like I put on a toner, you know?
It really is.
Yeah. But what makes this one maybe a little bit like superior in terms of ingredients, they've got the reishi mushroom, which I really love because mushrooms can hold a lot of water content. It allows for the fact that it can be so light but still give you hydration.
What about the afterglow?
I wouldn't say it's like glowy because it just absorbs into the skin.
Is it also one-ish?
Yeah.
All right, what about the hydration you feel? Which one is more hydrating?
Oh, I would say this one is more like watery hydration. So
Like a 3.2 or like a 3.4?
3.2.
Okay, so it's a little bit more than this, but not as much as IUNIK.
Yeah.
Alrighty. I guess my last question for you would be, what gel textures do you not like? For example, I remember really loving the Pharmacy. And then it just didn't really work as well for you, which we found surprising because it was an oil-free gel moisturizer that I somehow loved, and you're like,
But I think that's perfect because it makes sense then.
tell us.
Because I don't like the fact that that one left my skin feeling greasy for some reason. It told me that it was oil-free, and so I have this expectation that it's basically like this. But then I put it on, and I'm like, I'm working it in, and it leaves this lingering feeling on my skin. And then so I categorize it into like the oily feeling gel creams rather than the refreshing.
And I guess especially if you're looking for a gel moisturizer to be refreshing, it's kind of like violation of expectation.
Yeah. Although not a bad moisturizer at all, right? Because it worked wonderfully for like probably combination skin and like dry skin. Yeah, good point. Gel moisturizers for everyone. What other gel moisturizers out there?
There's a lot. There's even the Aven. I remember I really loved the Aven.
Oh yeah.
And then you mainly didn't like it because of the scent.
Yeah.
But that was it.
Okay, so that is the gel moisturizers I've been loving. Glad Ro could come on this trip with us, the journey. None of it is right or wrong. It really comes down to each person because this is coming from like my skin, right?
Yeah.
But I think it would be interesting for you guys to also make your graph.
Yeah. And we'll share this with you guys some way, somehow.
Yes, maybe we'll make a digital version.
Yeah. Maybe I'll rewrite all of this on an iPad
Yes.
with a translucent background. We shall see.
We shall see. Hope you guys enjoyed this, but before we leave, Ro, do you want to give us some insights of the week?
Deflect that question back onto you.
Shing!
Shing! Something I've been thinking about a lot lately is the past 2 weekends, I made it out of the city to go like frolic and explore, which is something that, as you know, I never do because I'm almost always just working, even over the weekends. And it really made me think and reflect on the importance of balance. Because I think with everything that we do, regardless if it's work, regardless if it's spirituality, taking care of yourself, allowing yourself to just be, don't go to extremes in any areas of your life, because when you do, that's kind of when, you know, there's like many things. I think things in our life go in parallel. If one thing goes to the extreme or another thing goes into extreme, it kind of pulls off your balance so that you lose your equilibrium. And that is, I think, what keeps us like calm and grounded and at peace. Yeah. So just being out, playing arcade games, losing myself in arcade games and like spending $5 on like a really stupid, but I spent over like maybe $15 on this like machine that like just you drop pearls to, it's kind of like the coin game that moves.
You know, the red grab.
Yes, yes. But just getting permission from my friends, they're like, Ro, if you're having fun, just play. I'm like, okay.
Yeah.
You know, little things like that reminds you and takes you back to who you were as a child. I think it's so important, especially now in this day and age. We're getting older. We're losing touch with that side of us.
But you know, I think the hardest part with that is actually realizing when you are getting too much.
Oh, yes. And sometimes you can be too much for so long that becomes your normal, but it's not.
Yeah.
And that's when burnout happens. That's when your body clams up and like ailments, pain starts coming.
Then what would you say are some tips that people can do on maybe a weekly basis to kind of check in with themselves?
I think take at least one day, like a full day, or at the very least half a day every week to just be by yourself.
So carve out time.
Yes. And do something that you want to do for yourself. It could be reading, it could be meditating, it could be going out for a walk, it can even be going out for dinner with a friend, right? Like I think socializing with someone who's on similar wavelengths as you can be very energizing rather than draining for someone who's introverted. So finding friends like that, or finding that friend in yourself.
And guys, if you want more of these kind of like tips and discussions, we do have a newsletter that kind of rounds up our weekly thoughts and what we learned. And we'll put the link to where you can subscribe to the newsletter so we can all chat about all the important things in life and the fun things in life. So click thumbs up if you enjoyed this video, if you learned a little thing or two, and we'll see you very soon in the next one. Bye.
Balance your skin, balance your life.
Bye. Bye.